Wake up.
Leave me alone!
Wake up. Wake up. Wake up. Wake up.
Okay, we're gonna get Cheesy in here. Cheesy's so while I know like what kits may or may not be good, Cheesy will probably be able to look at them and outright tell if like a unit's gonna be meta or not, or like worth summoning. He's just much better like knowledge based on that than I am. Someone's asking if you're gonna replace Izanagi.
For reference, Pokenate beefed with me a while ago because I used Izanagi on War God Fen. I didn't even use Izanagi on War God Fen, alright? I just said it wasn't that bad.
That's funny.
Okay, so this guy, this is basically, yeah, he's type F, right? So this is like the first type F super crit unit, I think, in the game, but then there's also the new water magic unit that just dropped on JP for story that has 100% super crit, but I think she's also type F Argen. So I think like every single element in the game now, apart from Dark, has a super crit arts gen. This guy's for light. War God Fen's Earth, the new water unit. And then Sunraku for fire.
For fire, yeah.
I think his kit is pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. The damage passive, it's okay. It's pretty specific though. It's kind of niche, but I like his true arts. The attack stacking is pretty good because you know he's got a little bit more like sub DPS potential compared to like Sunraku, where there's only like sub DPS for Sunraku is his normal art that like actually benefits other people. Other than that, he just does crit res down.
Yeah.
So this guy can stack, you know, attack up for light units. And then yeah, his super arts, the crit rate lasts for 25 seconds, so actually it's like pretty good.
Yeah.
25-second crit rate to everybody in your team is actually pretty good. So he can kind of work. He basically works in the same way that like a Sunraku, a War God Fen would work, except he's light.
True.
And he's got slightly more. Now the thing is, he has a 180k modifier with 50 super crit. The Sunraku has 50 super crit and a 160k modifier. We don't have anybody in the game yet that has a 180k modifier with this amount of super crit. So I do think he is going to hit pretty hard.
Well, do you think this unit is a must summon?
I feel like he's going to be the best pickup for new players. I feel like for veterans, if you already got like War God Fen and Sunraku, you could probably skip. This is the worst guy out of the crossover. The reason why I say this, looking at his kit, right? He wants to be a damage dealer, but he has nearly nothing. Like, all the best damage dealers in the game have at least some form of, like, self-arts gen. This dude has, like, nothing in his kit for self-arts gen. His true art, I just don't see it being useful unless you're, like, maybe going for nuke LBs that you need BE for some reason, but I don't know. And then his arts, I also just, like, I also don't think that that's anything too crazy. And then his super arts, it's a defense ignore with a 200k modifier, and then it stacks super arts damage. Now, the stacking, 70 seconds is a pretty long duration for stacking. Don't get it twisted, but I don't know. It's just like, at that point, why not just run a better defense ignore damage dealer that has, like, better self arts? Yeah.
So, buns. So,
yeah,
don't go for this guy. Go for SS Val.
Yeah. Okay, so this guy, I'm not gonna lie, I slipped on for a bit, but after discussing with other people, that being in my clan and just like other people I know on Discord, this guy is actually goated.
Really?
This guy apparently has set, like, he's on leaderboards on JP for the Dark Celia Nova Palace. This is the first guy to get like below a minute on it or something like that.
Really?
So he's actually just like, yeah, he's goated for just like speed running sustains and nukes. He's basically kind of like a Jay or a Summer Miyu, but just like better because here's the thing. So basically, the way he works is he has a Saiger Zero type of super art every single wave, and then on top of that, he gets 100 art gauge every wave.
Oh.
Already
Wait.
got sub 1 minute on daily on global. I don't know. Then whoever was talking to me, but they said something like they went crazy on JP or something like that to not skip them. But
Gotcha. Wait, so you say he has a
yeah,
Saiger Zero type.
So yeah,
How does that
look at his
work?
ability here.
Okay.
Double single own super arts damage and break power beginning of the battle. So every single wave, pretty much, because the beginning of battle. Every single time he super arts for the first time on a wave, he has a 460k modifier or like 18k break. And then he also gains 100 art gauge, I think, every wave.
Shit. Wait, that's kind of good. Not gonna lie.
And then the other thing is res down is really important for just nuking characters in the game. This guy has 150 I think it's 150 res down this guy has. So why is that insane is because like for instance Uzu, you know how hard Uzu hits, right? He has 150 physical res down. Res down is very, very good, very, very good. So the fact that you can do a 460k attack with 150 res down at the beginning of nearly every wave, he'll absolutely wipe through stages. Now I don't know how stages with iframes are gonna work, but I'm assuming if you just build like the correct team around him, you can probably just get him to spam super arts really easily. But yeah, I was kind of sleeping on him because I was like, 100 art gauge every wave. I don't know how much that's gonna benefit him if you really want to just spam your super arts every single time.
Yeah.
But also his charts isn't that bad. Don't overlook the charts. 100 physical res down is not bad either. I actually think this guy is actually good.
You think so?
So here's my reasoning. I think this dude can get over 400 damage. I think it's like he can get 450 damage up in his kit.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So his super arts, let me just I think he increases fire units damage by 200% of super arts, but I think he also has a passive that if the enemy is burning, he gives himself like more damage up. And the thing is, you can combine him with Shizu, and it's busted because you just run him and Shizu together. And I think this might be the new best raid nuke team in the game. Because yeah, the 260 fire res down, and like this unit with like 500 damage up passively. Keep in mind, you could also run what is it, Delta's Treppin. You could also run on him, so that you give him like another 130 damage up. He's gonna hit so hard.
Gotcha.
320% fire res down on Shizu. Yeah, you get 320 fire res down with Shizu, and then this dude has like 450 damage up in his kit.
Jesus.
Yeah, if the enemy is burning. If not, he just has like 200 damage up, I think, or something like that. Let me look at his kit.
I hate characters
I don't
that either take away their health or apply status ailments to themselves. True, but I guess there's some balancing aspect to it. Sunraku for burst damage, true.
Yeah, you could also use Throne Raku. Okay, so I'm looking at his kit in Discord right now. So the way, so increase own damage the lower own HP is, right? Max 300% damage. So if you use Pala Necklace on him, right? 300% damage up. Okay? Then he has 200% damage up to everybody on his super arts. So now he's got 500 damage up. But get this. If his own self is burning, also increases own damage by 150%. So in total,
Jesus,
he can get 650% damage up on himself in total. Just by himself. 650 damage up.
Damn. Wait, actually, damn.
So
Wait.
there is currently not another unit in the game that can get 650 damage up by himself. This
Plus,
by far is probably going to be the best raid nuker in GS. I don't think he's gonna be I think he'll be okay for sustain. I don't think though that he's gonna be anything crazy in sustain. He doesn't have a whole lot of. If own self is leader, increase fire allies arts by 5 per second instead. Ooh, so he has an ability increases all fire allies on your team arts by 3 a second, and if he's leader, 5 arts per second. So in mono fire, he actually can be an arts gener because he just does 5 arts per second to every fire unit on the team. So he actually has good use in sustain.
Those are all the units, right? So pretty much part 2, you want both units if you can, and then part 1, you really only want like the Kenshin.
Part 1 is for the rerollers. Part 2 is for the veterans, pretty much.
Solid. I actually like that. I actually like that line. Part 1's for the rerollers. Part 2's for the vets.